From the PEP Radio newsroom, these are the stories we are currently following. Shannon Gallagher and her family saw the writing on the wall as bills targeting transgender youth were being introduced in the Ohio Statehouse last year. Their youngest child, Alex, now 17, is transgender and non-binary, and their family no longer felt welcome in Ohio, so they moved to New York City last fall. The Gallaghers made the decision to move in June 2023, months after State Representative Gary Click introduced his gender-affirming care ban bill, House Bill 68, and shortly after State Representatives Beth Lear and Adam Byrd introduced a transgender bathroom ban bill, House Bill 183. The Gallaghers tried fighting by testifying against the bills. It just started taking a huge toll on all of us, Shannon Gallagher said. We just had a heart-to-heart as a family and realized that the weight of all that was crippling all of us, and that we unfortunately had to leave. In the year since their out-of-state move, Ohio's gender-affirming care ban bill recently became law. This blocks transgender youth from starting hormone therapy and puberty blockers. Alex started receiving gender-affirming health care at Nationwide Children's Hospital in 2021, but the family said they were already seeing the chilling effect the bills were having on Alex's health care. The bathroom ban bill, which would require Ohio K-12 schools and colleges to require students to use the bathroom or a locker room that aligns with their gender assigned at birth, is only one step away from being sent to Governor Mike DeWine's desk for his signature. The Ohio House wove House Bill 183 into Senate Bill 104, which revises the College Credit Plus program during the last House session in June. Senate Bill 104 passed, sending it over to the Senate for concurrence. The lawmakers are currently on break in Ohio. After the first years of Joe Biden's presidency, the national uninsured rate declined 1.2% to the lowest rate ever. After the first 3 years of Trump's presidency, the uninsured rate went up by 0.6%, according to USA Today. Meanwhile, Trump has been flip-flopping on a Florida abortion ban ballot measure. At the end of the first 2 years of Joe Biden's presidency, 3.3 million more U.S. residents had health insurance than did so in 2019, according to a Capital and Maine analysis of U.S. Census data conducted with the support of Thomas Data Consulting. That increase led to the 1.2% decline in the national uninsured rate and the lowest rate of residents without health insurance in U.S. history. By contrast, Donald Trump oversaw an increase of 2.3 million uninsured people during the first 3 years of his presidency and a 0.6 percentage increase in the nation's uninsured rate. Senator J.D. Vance has expressed support for conservative proposals to further restrict abortions and fertility treatments. His support contradicts recent statements made by his Republican presidential running mate, former President Donald Trump, opposing further restrictions on both. Trump's first presidency rolled back national legal protections for both. Vance, however, voiced support for these restrictions in his foreword to the 2017 Index of Culture and Opportunity, a collection of essays that largely focused on the role of women in modern families. The collection's 29 essays were written by conservative authors from the Heritage Foundation, the right-wing think tank that later authored Project 2025, a blueprint to help Trump roll back the federal government and civil rights protections. The collection said the increasing number of single-parent households was on the, quote, wrong track, according to Forbes. One of the essayists wrote that they'd like abortions to one day become unthinkable. Another essay, written by Jennifer Lal, founder of the Anti-Abortion Center for Bioethics and Cultural Network, said that IVF was harmful to women and criticized women who have children later in life for spending a large portion of their most fertile years building their careers. Other essays criticized food stamps and disability benefit programs for incentivizing people not to seek work. Another said that hunger is a great motivator for people who are able to work, to find work. It's time for a moment of commentary. The viewpoints I am about to express do not necessarily reflect those of the Pennsylvania Equality Project. Project 2025 is dangerous for many reasons. Although Donald Trump has consistently distanced himself from the Heritage Foundation's 900-plus page conservative manifesto, he has not distanced himself from the people who wrote it, many of whom served during his term in the White House. The dangers presented have been showcased in memes on social media and even through an appearance by Kenan Thompson at the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Project 2025 wants to eliminate IVF treatments, ban abortion, eliminate the U.S. Department of Education, and pack the U.S. Supreme Court and the lower courts in a way that eventually marriage equality and other civil rights that have been established after decades of work by the LGBTQ+ community are all at risk. The document spells out how immigration would be significantly curtailed and how immigrants, who are Trump's favorite scapegoats, would be rounded up and sent to concentration camps. It spells out how the federal government would be stripped of any mention of the LGBTQ+ community and whatever Trump deems as too woke to be protected by law. As a retired teacher of German history, I have read this book and seen this movie several times before. The last thing we need in the United States is a sequel to Schindler's List. First, they scrub the laws of any mention of the LGBTQ+ community and any other marginalized community. Then they demonize people living in poverty. They will eliminate programs such as Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, the Affordable Care Act, the National Weather Service, the FAA, and they plan to defund the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security. Employees within the civil service of the federal government would be replaced by Trump's cronies who would have attended the training offered by the Heritage Foundation and explained in Project 2025. We do have an antidote at our disposal that will fight back against the nonsense and the anti-democratic values espoused in Project 2025. Otherwise, we will be quoting what Stephen King said when he learned that Florida banned 23 of his books in public schools in Florida. What the F? Now, in November, go vote. For PEP Radio News, I'm David Moore. Now let's get back to the music.